Mine emergencies are a rare event in underground coal mines, but when they do occur, miners need to be prepared to react properly. They have to make certain decisions as to whether to escape, to evacuate, or to find shelter in the mine. Hi, I'm Joe DeSalvo from Penn State. I'm with the Miner Training Program. What we're doing, folks, is we're going to observe today a crew that has been going through a normal day's work, and all of a sudden the CO alarm in the section goes off. Let's see how they deal with that problem.
Mike, there seems to be a problem here on 9 Belt. Maybe you want to call him and have somebody check her out.
Okay, we'll give him a call. 9 mains, 9 mains.
Yeah.
Hey, where's Harry at?
Hey, Harry, you're wanted on the phone. Yeah, this is Harry.
Hey, Harry, we got a problem on 9 Belt. You want to send somebody out and look at it?
All right. Go check out number 9 head. Go get the men gathered up and gather the feeders. Hey, we just had an alarm go off. We're all gonna meet back at the feeder. There's a fire. Do we need to evacuate? All right, go ahead and call outside and let them know and get out. There's a fire at number 9 head. We need to evacuate. We riding out? Yes, we're gonna don our resters and we'll head to the man trip.
At this particular mine, they use a combination of the M20s and the EBA 6.5s. They've just donned the M20s. They're on their way to the man trip to switch to the 6.5s. The key to successfully donning a self-contained self-rescuer is isolation. The guys have just reached the man trip where they have the unit stored. And you can see them getting the case off there. Just tossing the lid out of the way and getting those units out of there. Now you can see they're getting their hat off. They're getting those units opened up, getting them prepared for that switch. That's the key to a successful switch, is having the unit prepared before you pull that other one out of your mouth. There's a good shot of them activating the unit. They've completed the 3 steps. They've activated it, they put the mouthpiece in, they put the nose clips on. Now he's purging the unit. You have to do that with the EBA 6.5. Getting the goggles on to protect their eyes. Getting that neck strap tightened up to where it's comfortable. Getting the waist strap around their waist nice and tight in case they have to walk somewhere. They've got the hats on. They're heading for the man trip. They're getting ready to get out of there. look at that. They've just reached the outside. A fine ending to a successful evacuation from a coal mine.
We made it, Steve.
Yep.
Now let's listen in on a discussion between Mark Radomsky and Dr. Larry Grayson. And we're going to hear a critique from Larry and Mark as to how these guys performed in an emergency situation.
Hi, I'm Mark Radomsky, Director of the Miner Training Program at Penn State. Joining me today is Dr. Larry Grayson. Dr. Grayson is a mining engineering professor and also head of the mining department. Thanks for joining us today.
Welcome, Mark.
I'm sure you'll agree with me, Larry, that what we saw here today was a very successful and almost textbook evacuation of the mine. Now, you hear a lot about the important things that go into a successful evacuation, and one of them that comes to mind is communication. Do you mind commenting on that?
Oh, absolutely. Good communication and timely communication are extremely important if an evacuation is going to be successful. Basically, we need to find out the status of the mine fire, which these gentlemen did very, very well. And then we don't want to be hesitating. We want to communicate well with each of the crew members, find out where everybody is, and then proceed from there.
How much is it a problem of maybe miscommunication or breakdown?
Well, that can be. Indeed, it can be. At first, these guys would have seen that, okay, we've got some kind of an alert here about a mine fire. But you really don't know whether it's an extremely minor event or whether it's something that's a lot more major, as in this particular case. So if you misinterpret that and then it leads to hesitancy, then like Don Mitchell said, who's the mine fire guru, time is not your friend.
Good. Another thing you hear about is leadership, and I guess what goes hand in hand with that would be decision making. How important is that?
On the leadership side, we've got to have confidence. You gain the confidence by having knowledge, more information about the situation. You know your evacuation procedure, and you also know your mine very well. So having this confidence leads to the good leadership and then effective decision making along the way.
Now, how about the miners themselves? They get training, and I guess that means knowledge of the evacuation procedures are really a top priority.
Absolutely it is. And since the Miner Act of 2006, of course, this is something that is ingrained over and over and over again. So once every quarter, they're basically going through the gist of what an effective firefighting and evacuation plan and other types of scenarios in escape. Doing a lot of practice during these fire drills, making them as realistic as possible, at times possibly even in smoke, and then going over these steps over and over again just reinforces how well you're going to respond.
Mm-hmm. I know that years ago, some of the training that was given maybe didn't go far enough because people wouldn't actually go through the complete hands-on, but all that's been pretty much taken care of today.
I remember the old days. It was hard to get a crew member or two to go out with us when we had to do the fire drill. But these days, for all intents and purposes, everybody's doing it, at least for the major portion of the escapeway where there could be some issues. And so now it's being done much more religiously than it had been in the past.
Oh, that's good to hear. Okay, do you mind kind of summing it up in terms of the steps that go into a successful evacuation?
Accounting for everybody on the crew so that we knew we were all together was important. Donning the SCSRs properly was important. Determining that what the proper escapeway was for the location of the mine fire was very important. And then finally, as they were escaping down the escapeway, eventually they got to come to the point where they have to switch the SCSRs, and knowing that proper procedure and doing it effectively is also important.
Mm-hmm. And of course, it's very important to remain calm and remain focused. And are there anything you can think of that helps a miner remain focused and calm?
There's no substitute for knowledge. So not having the fear of the unknown because you know the procedure very well on every step that I just mentioned, and then having practiced it enough to where it becomes somewhat routine in your mind. Once they've gone that step with effective training and the practice, then they are well prepared to execute a successful evacuation just like this one.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. I guess that just about does it.
Okay, Mark.
Thanks again.
You're most welcome.